play flute that I've had since 4th grade. Played all the way through high school. All about the energies and what's going on currently, and it came back out. It made its way back into my life again, and I'm here to share it, and hopefully I am an inspiration to someone out there. I haven't played this thing in so long, and it's good to have it out. So with that being said, this video is all about the energies. I did experience the energies in the sky the other day and noticed there was a slight change in the air. And so when I see stuff like that, it just lets me know that there's going to be some intensity that's coming, and with that comes more awakenings, more triggerings, more purging. I myself have gone through an extensive purge over this weekend, and just it's like almost, with each ascension level, just when you think that, you've mastered everything, there's another level to get through. And it's been great. It was not the easiest, but the way that I responded to that was making sure that I was taking care of myself, resting, staying hydrated, eating well, being mindful of what I was listening to, who I was listening to, what I was doing with my time, and how I was utilizing that to the best of my benefit and ability. So I've been doing a lot of researching, still yet on my birth chart, and I've come to find some great discoveries. I've made some progress with my cake business. I have my own cake business, and I've been working on that very hard, and been fortunate to have a couple of things going on around that. And so seeing the light side of everything, working through all of that mucky stuff that needs to come up and come out. And so with that being said, we are coming upon a full moon, which is going to be taking place on Thursday, on May 6th, very, very early morning, and it will be in conjunction with the Chitra Nakshatra, or constellation, as it is known. I have a picture here, and this Nakshatra is all about having an uncut stone and carving it into a beautiful statue. The deity ruler of this Nakshatra is Vishwakarma, the Hindu god, and he was the creator of Jupiter as well, and he was the one that had taken this uncut stone and created it, shaved it down, used his tools, got all that outside stuff out of the way, and came up with something totally beautiful. And so we can relate this to ourselves, just to say, while in the eye of the storm, what are we doing for ourselves? What are we purging away? What are we allowing to stay and allowing to go so that we can be that beautiful statue? So I came across one of my gurus this morning who had offered some helpful tips, and this is also about clearing karmas as well. With this full moon that's coming up. And the concept is that no knowledge is wisdom. Knowledge is bondage. To know is to form a structure through creation, which is binding. And when it is bound, it is formed. Knowledge brings in a form. Prior to knowledge, there is only formlessness. In order to create, one must know, but the creation will be limited, and this is not for our greatest good. So it's very important to have a perspective of being limitless and have boundless awareness, which is acquired through no knowledge, which equals wisdom. And then as I was hearing this and processing this, the quote, "I know that I know nothing at all," is one of my favorites, and it instantly came to my mind. Perfect timing for that. And so this is from it comes from the Hindu culture. So he did have a mantra, and I will share this. If you don't practice this, don't feel obligated. I don't enforce anything upon anyone. I only encourage, and I also feel if you came across this video, it wouldn't hurt to be open to it and possibly try it. But the mantra that, and his name is Dr. Pillai. He is on YouTube. You can look him up. He's a great spiritual leader. Has been very helpful on my journey since awakening in 2018 when I began my spiritual journey. But the mantra is Gnyanam Bhandhaha, and I'll put the specifics in the description box so that you can see the actual mantra spelled out in the proper form. And you will want to speak this just as you would with any mantra 108 times. Now, why do we want to speak this 108 times? When I do my mantras and I meditate, I do it in cycles of 12, and I do it 9 times. The 9 is very significant for me. To me, 9 is very important, but in this case, I had thought of the planets. But we're pretty much aligning with the cosmos when we're doing this. And so, in understanding why we do this 108 times, we have 114 chakras with 72,000 energy channels, and this is also known as prana. You may have heard this before. There are 2 chakras that are outside of our body, and I'll show you. I have a lovely, beautiful piece of art here to show you so that you can better see it for yourself. But there are 2 chakras outside of this, out of the 114, which brings it down to 112 being in our body. And this can be seen, to me, I've seen this as the force of 13, the number 13, 1 and 12. 112 is my birthday too, so it was like a big celebration party coming across this information. I got pretty excited. 4 of these 112 don't have to do anything if the other things work well within us and they flower by themselves. So this leaves from 112 minus 4 to 108 to work with. The symbolism of using 108 can be found in the Hindu beads or Hindu mantras or just mantras, you know. So, with that being said, the diameter of the sun is 108 times that of the diameter of the earth, and the distance between the earth and the sun is 108 times the sun's diameter. The diameter of the moon and the distance between it and the earth is 108 times. So, in a breakdown of this, there are about 108 earths that fit across the sun, about 108 suns that fit between the earth and the sun, and 108 moons that fit between the earth and the moon. 360 is encoded in this distance, measured in miles, and I have a nice little picture here for you to see that as well. Feel free to screenshot it. The universe is pretty much matching with our human system. And if you haven't, I highly recommend studying the anatomy of the human body, just so you're more familiar with the inner workings and have a better understanding of yourself. We are divine, and our bodies are a dwelling place and a cauldron for accomplishing spiritual perfection. Without judgment, there is only perfection. There are also 84 asanas, which are also yogas, and this is related into the 108. There are 21 main yogas. If we master one of these yogas, we align automatically with the cosmos. We center ourselves, center the mind in stillness, center the heart in love, and center the body in breath, and we center ourselves with the cosmos. Exemplified, I did do a warrior pose. It's a yoga pose, and it's called the warrior pose. It's also known as Virabhadra, and I'll stand up and do it. I don't know if you can see me. Let's see. My head's a little cut off, but You're going to stand like this and hold that pose and position, taking deep breaths and meditating. You can also say the mantra that I had spoken earlier. You can also raise your arms and do this as well. I believe this is 1 and this is warrior pose 2. Warrior pose 1, warrior pose 2. So with that pose, and this was named after the fierce warrior Virabhadra, who is said to symbolize our inner ability to overcome ego and ignorance. The warriors challenge and test us, but doing so brings us strength, focus, confidence, and courage. And I have a quote here. In the end, it's not going to matter how many breaths you took, but how many moments you took your breath away. Or, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Okay, so in the end, it's not going to matter how many breaths you took, but how many moments took your breath away. And this is by Xingzong. He was a viscount in the Zhou dynasty that up until about 256 BC in ancient China. And just the importance of all of this and tying this in, we always have a choice. So it's pretty much about when we are in the eye of the storm, what choice will you make and what will you do with those choices moving forward? And so these are just some things that will help to lighten. Chitra, Nakshatra, and the uncut stone, remember, you're turning into this beautiful statue. So we are eliminating and chipping away, purging, and getting rid of any unwanted energies and what no longer serves us. And so just keep that in mind. And then, I also wanted to show you this. I did not show this, but this is the picture of the 114 chakras in our system. And then you see at the top there's the crown chakra on the outside of the 2 other outside chakras. You can screenshot that as well. Peekaboo. All right. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy full moon. It's the happy full flowering moon. I wish you all the best. Keep loving, keep shining. Remember to have forgiveness and compassion for others, and to make sure that you are always loving yourself the bestest. That's all I have. So thank you so much again. I love you, and have a great week. Peace.